Lovely background footage. They are my screensaver right now. Every time one of them falls down, I want you to go wah wah. That way I know people are falling down and I get to laugh at them as well. This is very cool. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. My name's Uncle Yo. I'm an otaku-specific stand-up comedian, and I turned lubricant into a lubricant with enough effort. Joining me is a friend who's helped me with many masquerade, many performance. A cosplay enthusiast got me back into comic books. Mr. Christopher Troy, blogger extraordinaire.
Yeah, I like blogger, man. Cosplay dude sounds kind of creepy. Do you like cosplay? Do you write? I write cosplay. That's so messed up. I'll be honest, I'm not sure why I'm here.
Pretty much, yeah. We're two of like the 300,000 people who you go to at every convention and run up to you and try to convince you that they're important, that they're famous. I make a webcomic. I make some blogs. I'm making a print series. I'm so original. What do you make at conventions, Uncle Yo? Money. Sit down.
Shut up. At least you got that. I'm like, why are you here? Oh, so it's a sign I care about. There's a panel, you know, panels. I run those. They're fun and magical and
usually involve robots.
battle profanity. Which again, why am I here? I curse a lot, yet I'm here. It's funny, Peter Czar, a great man by the way, not here in Singapore this weekend. It's like, Chris, Carl, Kinokuniya's doing an event next weekend. Let's do something. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? He has the Uncle Yo bit. I curse a lot in blog. What can I do? I can read a Christmas list, that'd be funny, haha. And then next day, good news everyone, Chris Troy confirmed Kinokuniya. I was joking. I'm not like, I mean, I want video games, clothing, figures. There's a Black Rock shooter. If anyone wants to buy it, me, I like that a whole bunch. I don't have her yet. I don't.
Are you giving them your Christmas list? You're dressed in red. They should be sitting on your lap and giving you their Christmas list. Inuyasha's dressed in red. Sit on his lap. Tell him what you want.
Last time someone sat on my lap with a phone call.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
But I figured, you know what? I'll just do what I always do, and it's like, we're first on the internet. Yeah, I'm like, hey guys, look, it's that video you like. I love my iPhone. See, sorry.
This is my first time working at Kinokuniya, and I love coming here because I love pretending that I can read any of the Japanese manga, because one of the people I've been growing up all my whole life watching anime subbed. So we were part of those illegal downloaders, and you start learning after watching enough Japanese, you lie to yourself that you can pick up on the basics. Like you start telling yourself, I know how to speak Japanese, because you know like hello in Japanese, hello in Japanese. Absolutely, and goodbye. Thank you. I've never felt a power like this before. You know, just the basics that you need to survive the giant robot fights. Things like, no, please. Not there, teacher. I'm only 15. I'm only 15. Okay, anyone who laughed, do not shake their hand. You know what they're watching. So, let's see. What's some big news in the comic book world? Right up on Broadway, the Spider-Man musical opened, along with the final gate to hell. I was really hoping that it would be written by Brian Michael Bendis, my favorite comic book writer right now, because he could retcon it in a year and make it never happen, make it all a dream. There was no Spider-Man musical.
I'd like to see a Bendis written musical. It'd be great. Like, hey, Carl.
What?
I'm not writing a musical.
Yeah, it's real.
It's a musical. That I'm writing. I'm Brian Bendis. That's how I talk. Bendis dialogue.
Bendis dialogue. I love that. What I was hoping is that the curtain call would be the cast of Spider-Man the Musical having a Q&A with all of New York Comic-Con goers. It would be a lot like when I went to M. Night Shyamalan's panel Sunday at Comic-Con and took the mic and just went for 3 minutes. Why? 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 Why are you giving money to do this? The cool part about the Spider-Man musical, U2's Bono and the Edge wrote the music, so it's a rock opera on Broadway. But it's bizarre. They have songs that no one should imagine. Now that Bono's writing for Broadway, I can only imagine the Venom symbiote. Because if Carnage is going to be a villain in the show, Venom should be a villain in the show. So at some point, Peter Parker should be ripping the black suit off of him, screaming, "I can't live with or without you." I love the exaggerated mouth in this thing. It's like an angry donkey. This is all the props we need. We can do just, whose line is it anime right now?
That's Cat's Car, plug.
We will work on that.
Plug.
But they have the Green Goblin as one of the main villains in the show. Now, he doesn't look like the Green Goblin. He looks like the kite that Mary Poppins is trying to fly across the street. He looks like the gayest green flamingo you can imagine. The Green Goblin looks like the butterfly that every drag queen imagines himself becoming when they emerge from their cocoon. And he's simply gliding around, harassing small children. You can grow up to be like me, children! I'm going to go home and delete all the Glee from my DVR right now. And in the second act, Spider-Man gets to fight the Kingpin, so they get to have a song called The King and I. For both Rodgers and Hammerstein's fans out there. It's cool that we have supervillains on Broadway. This is the first time that they've ever been on stage. Normally, the supervillains are producing the musicals. We've tried to do supervillains before on Broadway, and they gave us Phantom of the Opera. He had the power to stalk women with no personality. So he's half Quasimodo, half Edward Cullen, all pansy.
We said Canary Cullen, kind of implied.
Yeah. What I'm really hoping is they could start off keeping this trend going. We could do like a Wolverine musical, because Hugh Jackman, who plays Wolverine, is actually trained in musical theater. So you can have high kicking and claw slashing. There's nothing to lose there, except, well, people. They're actually, the musical keeps shutting down because they keep hurting the guys playing Spider-Man. Because they're on these cords flying around at about 60 miles per hour. Every time they land, that loud cracking, that's their wrist. This is great. This is calling the week. What's wrong with this? Spider-Man is hurting people who want to do Broadway.
You know, it's ironic in a way.
Why?
I want to hurt the people who are putting Spider-Man on Broadway.
Okay.
So I feel like as a superhero, he's doing my job for me.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, it's nice. Thanks, Spidey. You're my hero still.
What else is going on my Christmas list? I've got Kirby Yarn, because I want to start playing that on the DS. I grew up playing Kirby on the original Nintendo back in 1991. And the fun, well, we all love Kirby because he's this happy little pink ball that flies around Dreamland, and he's fighting absolute evil. He's absolutely adorable. He also happens to have tactics on par with cannibals. It's absolutely terrifying. If you walked up to anybody in a bar and threatened them in the way that Kirby would threaten somebody, you could probably raise a couple of eyebrows. You walk up to someone, I'm going to put you in my mouth, and I'm not going to chew. I'm going to spit you out at your little friends, and then I'm going to peel off your face and wear it like a funny hat, and gain your powers.
This is why we stopped going to bars together.
Yeah.
This isn't a joke. This is what he did.
Kirby is just the world's happiest little bulimic. Swallows everything, spits it right out. The last time we, had to deal with someone like this, the cops had to make a deal with Hannibal Lecter just to bring him down. You release Kirby on New York City, I don't know, we'd have to hire Dexter just to take him out.
Now, which should we talking about? Talking the serial killer or the cartoon character?
The one with the laboratory.
I said that'd be a lot better.
Which Bono can then eventually adapt into a musical. Why not? Everything else is not a musical. I think we're getting a musical eventually.
Yeah, again.
Again.
We get Mario to play me and you. It'd be great.
Uncle Mario again.
I heard that fic. It was terrible.
You wrote that fic, dude.
Yeah, I did.
And yet we bring you back here.